Hello and welcome back to Purple Does Poison, Druid Blight Cast to Life. This is level 9 and we are sitting here in the court of the Wild Hunt waiting for the meat to cook over the fire. Over there we've got the Master of the Hunt waiting to do his speech by the looks of him. So, we are most of the way through level 9. We've just finished the Sentinel's chain in Dinnith along with spies in the house. No real problems there. I've been sticking to Reaper 1. Damage output wise, this build can certainly handle much higher, but the self-healing continues to be a problem. So if anything is, if there's like a spiky bit of damage that cuts through your temporary Death Eater hit points, suddenly you find yourself from, going serenely along to being in real trouble. So that's one of the reasons why I've been sticking with Reaper 1. And in the case of doing the videos for the channel here, I think it probably makes sense, because to do a 20-minute speech and then find that you make a complete arse of the quest and have to do it again isn't ideal. So that's the reasoning behind that. Gear is almost the same. I just added in a couple of augments as I highlighted a couple of bits for improvement last time. I've removed the positive and replaced it with the negative there. The negative is going to help our spike growth to be even more damaging, and we use that a lot. The positive only really will get used when we are going through our temporary hit points and into the actual health, which, if I do my job properly, should be rare if at all. So that's what I'm hoping for. The other thing, we added another augment. We replaced the Diamond of Strength, which was basically redundant on this build, with Wisdom 5. So that's probably been good for an extra DC. I think when I highlighted the spell powers and crit chance in the last one, I think I had something wrong equipped or something, because this looks quite a bit higher now. Acid, as you can see, we're well into the 200s there, which is very nice, and the acid crit chance is very decent too. Negative as well is good, and force, the other one we're using, is acceptable. The force stick I would have liked to upgrade, because that's still a level 4 item, but I don't have anything else, so I've just kept that for the time being. But yeah, these spell power and crit chance are looking good. Now I've noticed there we've got 25 electric as well. I don't have anything to boost electric crit chance, but it's been boosted by this Elder of Winter that we're in the Season's Herald tree. That's giving 6 more crit chance to that. And I said something wrong in the previous episode, shock horror. I got something wrong. Each core in this tree is giving 5 spell power on all the elements of your season. So here we've got what is it? Acid, force, and now electric, that we're also interested in a bit, because I took, for a level 5 spell, I just took Core Lightning Storm. Very expensive there, 80 points a time, because I've put all the metas on it. My plan with that is just to use it for a boss encounter. Otherwise I think our damage, normal damage, is fine. Wisdom will be 34 in Reaper, as we have a +1 from the Reaper tree, so that's pretty good. The saving throws look pretty good. We've added these belts of greater heroism, the Planar Gird, from the Zorian Cipher quest in Jarasco. Very nice to have, especially on a build like mine that's struggling badly for UMD and would never be able to cast the greater heroism scrolls which have a no fail of 40, I think, UMD. I think mine at present is not even 20. And that's still with cheating with these glasses I'm wearing, 15. So for my characters, that's ridiculously bad. He doesn't have a tome or anything to help the UMD, this character. Otherwise, healing scrolls at 9 could be a thing, but definitely not for this character, for the same reason just mentioned. And don't forget that your hirelings, if you like them, can start doing Raise Dead from level 9. So that would be another thing to add. Enhancements, as I've just shown, I've begun to go seriously into this Season's Heraldry. We've got some lovely stuff in here. I showed all this last time. It's as it was last time, I think. So I'm guessing this is a bit updated. I've added at the back the wisdom to make it even in Reaper. Added back this, so we've got that's why the acid crit chance is so high. We've got 6 from the epic past life, two times there, and that's also helping the electric, even though we've got no investment in that in our gear. But we've also got 1, 2, 3, 4 there and 6 here, so we're 10 just through the enhancement trees on their own. We're 10 better off for acid and force crit chance, which is great, combining the 2 trees. One of you commented that you'd found the spike growth and acid rain combination to be quite interesting. I'd shunned the acid rain up to now because I'd read in the wiki that it was very lackluster and underpowered, blah blah, but in the interest of experimentation I'm going to give it a try. We've got it on the bar here with all the metas on, so we'll give it a go. I did try, as you might have seen in previous episodes, the Thorn Bloom, or as we're now going to call it, I think Thorn Fizzle, because that was distinctly underwhelming, and there is a mention in the wiki that if you quicken it, it can sometimes bug out and do nothing at all. But even without the quicken, it's just it seems very hit and miss to me. So we're going to try this acid rain, see how we go on with that. Otherwise I think everything's broadly the same in there. What else do we have? Yeah, I wanted to talk for a moment again about this business of playing alone, and I just wanted to mention how nice it's been having these little exchanges, you know, in the comments section with 1 or 2 of you, the feedback and some of the helpful comments. So some of you have told me things that I definitely didn't know and that have helped me along, sort of shaped the build as we've gone along, like this one about the spike growth, which has proved to be invaluable. One of you also mentioned you struggle a bit with the you know, joining the groups, so it's nice to know that I'm not alone. And I guess maybe this little site has turned into a way to sort of be a part of the community on my own terms. Maybe that's a thing. It's almost like before I got a dog, I was umming and ahhing for a long time, should I, shouldn't I, and people were telling me all the pros and cons. And one of the things somebody said was it's almost like joining a group or a club or something. You just don't know the members yet, but as soon as you get the animal, it's like there's all these people that you know, they'll stop and say hello with their dog, and because the focus is on the dog, not on yourself, before you know where you're at, you've started a conversation with somebody, and it's going quite easy. same for the game. The game, like the dog, is like an icebreaker, something you've got in common. So sometimes I guess maybe I forget to be all, "Ooh, another person," that kind of thing. So that's been nice too. Scrolls and things I've mentioned the belts. Spells I touched on. We get access to a couple of level 5s now. One of the standout ones was the Call Lightning Storm that I saw, so I've taken that. We're going to use that as a boss beater. Acid Rain without the metas, I don't like the sound of that, even though it goes with our build. Same for Enveloping Swarm. I did try the Acid Arrow, and without any metas on, that sucks. And to put metas on is way too costly in terms of mana. And why am I showing you the level 4 spells? I'm supposed to be talking about level 5. Oh dear. Death Ward, we have an excellent clickable for that at the moment, so it's not a priority. This comes from the Salt Marsh. I think the quest in the Sawagin, oh god, I won't even try that. The fortress. I can't remember what that's called. Is it called Stopping the Sawagin? Something like that. But very nice item. 3 charges of 10 minutes Death Ward at level 3. That's ridiculously good. I seem to be advocating farming to a degree, or as we call it, gardening, because I won't allow talk of farming in our little games. But yes, that's a super nice item if you ever feel like grabbing. So we've got Reincarnate. Well, playing alone, that's not going to do me much good. Thorn Wave. It sounds a bit too much like the Thorn Bloom thing to me, so I wasn't desperately keen to take that. So I went for defences instead. I went for the Stone Skin. Now, you can, from level 7 I think it is, find wands of Stone Skin from the vendor in the Tower of the 12. So many of the purists would say, oh, you've wasted a slot there. But hang on a minute. I'm just checking if it's got a UMD requirement. I bet it does, and if it does, that's going to vindicate my choice, because yeah, UMD 32. So there's no way that unless there's an exemption, you know, and you can use it without fail. I think there is, you know, but I know there is for the Warlock. Wands. It just says UMD 32, minimum level 7. So I don't know, but I don't tend to like to swap out the weapon, and I just tend to like to cast it and have done. So we'll stick with that. And if the UMD requirement did come into play, there'd be no way I could do that anyway. I have a feeling that if you can cast a spell natively, as we can, you could. There could be a level at which you would have no fail on something like that. But the other thing is, for me, there isn't anything in there that seems to particularly stand out. Maybe negative energy burst, but we've got other things for damage. So I'll stick with that. Now, I've done one aborted recording of this already. Not because I died, I was sitting around the campfire. Because I was thinking spell-wise, I looked in the wiki for Druid spells, and it was showing me on level 5 greater vigour, and it still does. Now, I can assure you that I've just been back to the, well, you can see, because we can see all our spells for level 5, can't we? There's no greater vigour in there. So it's giving the Blight caster the greater vigour at a later level. The reason I was so keen to get it was that, if I haven't mentioned already, I've definitely mentioned it in the previous failed recording, we don't get access to heal. Any heal or cure spells we don't get with this this archetype. So that's definitely a plus point in favour of the standard Druid. The heal in particular will be a big miss, because that just cuts straight through the Reaper nerf, and that could have you running at Reaper 4, you know, really comfortably, I think. So I was keen to get the greater vigour, but I guess maybe it'll come online next level, hopefully. Or the next spell level jump that we make, maybe level 10, level 11. Not sure when the Druid gets level 6 spells. The feat at 9, I took Heighten, because I'm conscious of the fact that some of our spells seem to need a little bit of help, or could use a bit of help to land reliably. I was thinking in particular of this Contagion one, which the Reapers seem to be saving against. So I've got Heighten and Quicken set on that, and if we get into a crappy situation, although it's costing me quite a few spell points there, we're going to hit that and hope that that does the business for us. Given that we're going to be using Heighten, if you didn't know, that heightens the spell level up to the maximum that you can cast. So that's especially useful on classes like the Druid or the Sorcerer or the Wizard, who can go up to level 9 spells. Less interesting perhaps on a class like a Bard or a Warlock, where you're only limited to level 6. So in the case of this Contagion, I think it's a level 2 spell, is it? Is that right? Yeah. So we could eventually get, once we get access to level 9 spells, plus 7 on the difficulty check for that, which would be very advantageous. I plan to try to take the reducing the cost of the Heighten, because it costs you 5 extra mana for each level heightened. So if we can make that 3 extra instead, the cost once we're heightening several levels is going to be reduced quite nicely. So what else do I use it for? Salt Ray on my main character is always heightened. I haven't done it here. Maybe I should. Why not? I'll have to be careful not to spam that. So you can see we've got a save in the mid-30s now for that, which at this level is not bad, I don't think. And of course we can heighten all the spell-like abilities for free where they take heighten. That one does. Okay, so that's the meta. I think that's probably about it. Oh, and Stephen, if you're watching, I did note your comment about the Demon Queen. We'll have to see if we can fit that one in at the appropriate level. Either she will get wrecked or we will. One or the other. Okay, the quest I've chosen for today has some significance in our little group. I remember the first time, thankfully it's not recorded, the first time we did this one, through the Tulgey Wood, I got into such a state, I was almost ready for pulling the plug, because every time If you know the quest, you'll know there's this teleport mechanic in there, and every time I stepped on one of these teleporter things, as often as not by accident, I would end up back towards the start of the quest in this pink grove. And I was thinking to myself, if I end up in this pink grove one more time, that's it, that's it. And Orlo was running the quest with me. She came back, she said, no, 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 I'll tell you, I'll tell you. And it transpired later that she actually knew the quest quite well and was just laughing all the time on the quiet about my struggles. So I owe one for that. If you haven't done this quest, I'll talk through the basics. There are some little pointers that can make it much more palatable. It's a nice quest anyway, not if you're looking for quick XP, but the graphics on the two in here are nice. I think just the colours, the vivid colours, the Feywild type stuff, I like that. Now I have to mess about here when using these belts, because you may or may not know the slaver chains, which can go in the neck or the belt slot, that won't just go back into the belt slot. If I click it, it'll go straight into the neck slot and mess all my gear up. It's just an unfortunate thing that it does. So I have to manually drag it back in when I've used the belt of heroism. Okay. Trying the old web and spike growth combo. Now we said we'd try the acid rain. Now the combo mentioned was spike growth and then acid rain, wasn't it? So let's go with that. There we go. Oh yeah, and that's pretty good. Well, if that continues to be the case, maybe we should invest more points in the acid rain in future to get a shorter cooldown on that one. Big thanks to Crowfeeder for that little tidbit. We'll try it again here. Except I've gone wrong and targeted a different area. Actually, I targeted a mega wide area between the two, didn't I? Yeah, no, that's going pretty well. So that is still this is still the only way we can go, I think, from now, isn't it? Yeah. Let's try that again then. The Reaper just got annihilated. Yeah, yeah. I think we'll say that's a good combo. Now what is acid rain? Acid rain is conjuration. Okay. So this is going into this famous pink grove that I was talking about. This is kind of the start of the quest proper. So you go through this teleporter because it's the only way onwards.
You step into the ring and are transported into another.
And then that's the only way onwards.
Before you is a large door locked with magic. To your right, you notice a stone.
Oh crud, I pressed the wrong key there.
From somewhere above, you can hear Hermia's voice. So the worm has wiggled through the bog and into a herd of crows. You may try to steal their meal, but the birds have hard.
So again, there's only one way we can go, through this teleporter to the Riverlands. Now, almost always you get an indicator on the map along with a sign here. Can you see the sign there? which indicates the way you should go forward. Now, initially I didn't know any of this, and I was just wandering around aimlessly, getting more and more frustrated. I seem to be having a few targeting issues with the acid cloud, but it's being very effective if I can get the two to land in the same place. So that's the bread and butter of the quest. Follow the signs, pull the new lever in each area to unlock the next area. And the other thing is, almost always, or I think always, go through the first teleporter that you can. So we've come back, retraced our steps. That's the first one we can go through. So we go through there. And now, if we check the map, see there's another open door icon there. Have to keep an eye on spell points. There's a sign, look, in this one because it's a long old quest.
A dryad stands proudly in front of her tree. She sees her. She does not hesitate to defend her home. The dryad falls and shrivels into a wilted stalk. Behind her, you notice a lever marked with the crest of the nymph.
Oh, you can't pull the lever until they've died, okay. So you'll notice now we're over 100 temp hit points. Yeah, 34, 102. Really nice. And it only gets better. So pulled lever again, just backtrack until the first teleporter that we can possibly go through, which is that one. And see another indicator and another signpost. Again, all we can do is go through here. There's only one possible way forward. Usually in each area like here there'll be a group of opponents as well waiting for you. My word, yeah, this combination's just annihilating stuff, isn't it? Very tasty.
As you pull this lever, you can somehow sense a door yawning
again,
open in the distance.
Sign. I was lucky enough to bump into one of you on the game last night who happens to be running a Blight caster several levels ahead of mine, so that's where I got this acid rain and spike growth tip, so big thanks for that. Now what's going on? Am I going underneath here or what? Yeah, I think the way on is underneath somewhere, isn't it here? Is it through there? Ah yes.
A wood road has taken up residence in the spring. As you approach, it aims at you with its heavy arms.
Yeah, the really nice thing about these AoEs is they clear things so quickly that the temp hit points just keep ticking up, so even if I am taking damage... Oh, there's something left somewhere, is there? Is there? Oh, it's a... I thought that was a... I thought it was a lost soul. I didn't realise it was a wisp.
As you pull this lever,
Oh, almost made a boob there. Nearest teleporter every time. So same thing again, we can only go that way. And this time we can go on a bit further. Again, we see the sign here.
you stumble into a strange place, very unlike the forest you should.
Rosette the cow
A menacing figure
will present us with a puzzle.
attended by
Who are you?
The queen tells you that if you complete her challenge,
Let me see if I can remember the tiles to step on. You've got to step on 3 tiles to switch out all the lights. Is it that one? Yeah. That one. And then this one. Perfect. Now this chest is a mimic, be warned. So what are we going to use to try and stop the thing? Salt ray? Okay.
The queen nods in approval and wordlessly signals for one of
So
her
lever
attendants
pulled
to summon your well. As you
and
pull this
backtracking
lever,
again.
you can somehow sense a door yawning open in the distance.
First teleporter. And we have another sign on the map there. Oh crud, I made a mess there. Whenever I do a missed target, I'll have to go and run into it, so they just run into that area. Okay, so pull the lever. Yeah, looking at how things are melting with those 2 spells, that would be more than handy in higher Reaper than this. Shall I make another excuse and say that the quest is quite long and the end can be a bit nasty, so I didn't want to risk having to repeat. Or maybe I'm just a wuss. See, another sign there. You can always expand the map and have a look if you get a bit lost, as I have so often. So we're going back past the cow and a bit further now. Let's wait for them to come round us this time. Oh, they didn't all come. That's a balls up if ever there was one. Dearie me. Yeah, my targeting leaves a lot to be desired, doesn't it? I don't need telling. It's appalling.
Pull this lever. You can somehow
Okay, so
sense a
first
door
teleporter.
yawning open in the distance.
Again, sign. Let's try and get it right this time, eh? It's nice as well that the acid rain is a spell-like ability, so I'm able to put my quicken on that for free and have things really melting. Also the cooldown, well, in a quest like this anyway, where things just come sort of once in a while, seems to be more than alright just with 1 point in.
As you pull this lever,
Maybe that's because I'm waffling in between every encounter. Now this has opened up to us, hasn't it? Yeah. Are we going to get enemies down here? Nope. Okay. But we might get some here. Ah, yes, okay. So these 2 are eventually going to come to life. I can't remember if you speak to them first or try the door. But it only starts once you've tried the door. There we go.
Huh? How'd you do that? They ask in unison.
You're smarter than we thought, but we won't let you get near that key.
The bullywugs share a look.
The key again.
Oh, we got one stunned.
Merely shrugs.
Either he was watching me guard the key, or I was watching him watch you guard me. Who cares? Let's rumble.
The twins let out their last confused cry.
Oh, well done. The wisps are obviously immune to acid and all sorts of other stuff, but force works very well on them, and we have several things. The salt ray and the splinter bolt, or any thorn or bolt type stuff is force, so that's very nice to have against them. Oh, there's a key drop somewhere, yes. Okay, is there a lever to pull in here? No, so shady circle's another
You've
way
been transported
forward.
into a shady circle
Lever
of
here.
place. You spy a stone relief of a satyr above
And
the
I'm
doorway
guessing
directly
the
in front
nearest
of you.
teleport is that.
As you pull this lever,
Yeah,
you
sign
can
down
somehow
there.
sense a door
I'm
yawning
guessing there's
open
going
in
to
the
be
distance.
opponents down here. Are there? Oh no, this is the scripted thing. Tea
You enter
party
a small
thing.
clearing.
I think if you
In the
click on the
center
guy
sits
and
a
then on the
gnome
cup of
wearing a
tea,
comically
it
large
starts.
hat, accompanied by two others, an exasperated squirrel and a hound who is soundly asleep. You can hear the gnome and the squirrel arguing.
It is 6 o'clock.
The gnome declares.
No, it is not.
Replies the squirrel.
It is so.
Says the gnome.
You have bats in your hat.
Answers the squirrel.
So that
Shouts the
method,
hound,
Splinter
roused
Bolt,
from
is
his
hitting
slumber
quite
and
hard
snarling
now.
in your direction.
What? Where?
Asks the gnome. When you remind him that he offered you the cup of tea.
So we have
he shakes
decent,
his head.
I think we have much better AoE at this stage than the standard Druid would.
Changes
And we also have decent single target with the
Strange
Splinter
gnome
Bolt,
slumps
so
on the ground,
not in a
followed
bad
by
place at
shattering of
all.
cups and plates. You spy a lever
Where to
at
go
the crest of
now
the
is the
satyr behind
question.
you. As you pull this lever, you can somehow sense a door
Is this a new
yawning open
area?
in the distance.
No. I was looking. Ooh, yeah! Don't step in those flowers. They're dangerous. I'm looking for a shrine. I think there's a shrine round here somewhere. Yeah. It is a long old quest, so I don't think we've done too badly there mana-wise. I think the Acid Rain SLA has certainly helped in that respect. See our saves now with the greater heroism on, they're going up towards 30, which at not even level 10 isn't bad at all, I don't think. All the while I've been stalling, trying to figure out where to go next, and I'm really not sure. Shall we try the Royal Garden? There's no sign here. Oh, we can't. Alright, so... so we go back to the Shady Circle. Is that where it wants us to go? Let's try that. Ah, yes, okay. So there's a lever to pull there, and I think that opens the way to the
You
end.
sense a door creaking open in the distance, opening a path onward to Hermia's hiding place.
Mushroom Forest, I think that's where the hiding place is, yes. Oh, so there is a shrine before going through, I didn't remember that. And this is coming into the... This is the end area now. This can be quite tough. Things can be appearing all around you. And because we've shrined, we've lost our 10 hit points, so that's not ideal.
Dinner was delicious. Sorry to say, I couldn't save you any scraps. Those crows wanted supper, but
So that's the
they
same as with the
couldn't keep
Warlock.
themselves from
You
eating
lose your all your stanch potential when you shrine. You lose all the stacks of depravity. So yes, the Splinter Bolt is a very handy wisp beater.
As your strike lands, the owlbear howls and disappears. It leaves behind a cluster of pearlescent orbs,
and another challenge for you to face.
I think he comes back, doesn't he, the owlbear, for round 2 once you've smashed these orbs. Yeah, lucky guess. My god, there was a Carnage Reaper popped up in the middle of that and just got annihilated.
Lets out a weary sigh. With
I'll
her
take
being
that.
bird and whatnot, this sounds more like a drowning rat.
Pity. I'll find here some.
I didn't get too badly lost, so yeah, I'll take that.
I do indeed need to work on my knitting.
Certainly not one to do if you're looking for quick XP, but nice as a little change of pace, or with a group, just something to certainly one to experience anyway. It's a different, a bit of a different style, and once you know the mechanics for going through, I don't think you can go too badly wrong. So I quite like it. Wanted to show it anyway, based on the fact I had a complete disaster in there the first time I tried it. Right, I think it's about time for wrapping up. Hope that was okay for you all. Thank you very much as always for looking, and I will speak to you soon. Take care.